All right, today we're diving into the quietly devastating Hong Kong short film, Like a Marriage. This is one of those stories that really sticks with you, you know? It's a powerful look at the emotional price of secrecy and what we sacrifice for the people we love. Okay, let's get into it. And really, the entire film boils down to this one simple but massive question. What is the true cost of a lie? I mean, not just the cost to other people, but to yourself. And to the person you're supposed to love the most. It's a question that just hangs over every single frame.
So, to really get why this story is so heartbreaking, we first have to understand the arrangement, the deal, that's at the very center of it all.
The film is all about something called a lavender marriage. Now, if you're not familiar with the term, it's basically a marriage of convenience. It's often between a gay man and a lesbian, and the whole point is to put up a heterosexual front for society, or, like in this film, for their very traditional families. It's a solution that's born from immense pressure. And here is where you see that conflict in action, that double life. On the one hand, you have the public facade. Chan Yui is a happily married man with his wife, Fung Ming. This is the version his family sees and approves of. But then there's the private reality, his real life, a quiet, loving partnership with Wing. It's two completely separate worlds, held together by one very, very fragile secret.
But yeah, an arrangement like this, it comes with an enormous price tag. And as the film makes painfully clear, it's Wing who ends up paying it, day in and day out.
Wing's entire life just becomes this minefield of anxiety. I mean, he's constantly on edge, totally paranoid that his partner's mother is going to show up unannounced, and the whole illusion will just shatter into a million pieces. The feeling of safety in his own home, pretty much gone.
And this is where the lie gets so real and so tangible. To keep up the act, Wing has to actively take part in making himself invisible. He's the one who has to go out and buy women's clothing to put in their closets, physically creating evidence of a woman who doesn't exist, of a life that isn't his.
And the isolation is just brutal. While Chan Yui is out having dinners and playing the part of the married man with his family, Wing is just left behind. He's completely shut out from this huge, important part of his partner's world. He basically becomes a ghost in his own relationship.
So you see, the point here is that this lavender marriage, it's not just some little white lie. For Wing, it's a constant soul-crushing process of self-erasure. He has to systematically remove every trace of himself from the picture, all to protect the man he loves.
And, you know, all of this constant pressure, this need to be invisible, it just starts to chip away at him. It leads to this slow, painful breakdown.
This is one scene in the movie that is just, wow. It's such a painfully perfect metaphor. When Chan Yui's mother calls unexpectedly, Wing literally has to hide inside a closet. I mean, can you get any more on the nose than that? It's just this suffocating symbol of his entire existence in this relationship, forced into the shadows, totally unseen and unheard.
And what makes this film so effective, I think, is the Wing spirit isn't broken by one big dramatic betrayal. No, it's the slow drip of all the little things, the daily indignities. It's the casual way his partner tells him not to worry, downplaying his pain. It's the constant need to be on guard. It really is a death by 1,000 cuts.
And we absolutely have to talk about the actor Jam Kwan, who plays Wing. His performance is just incredible. He gets across this deep, profound anguish with such quiet restraint and sensitivity. There's no big screaming matches. All it takes is a simple, teary-eyed look from him, and it just lands this devastating emotional punch. It's amazing.
So, as you can imagine, all this bottled-up pain and silence, it has to go somewhere. It all builds and builds until it finally explodes in the film's powerful final confrontation.
And this is where the movie just leaves you hanging, right? It ends on such an open note that it forces you to ask yourself, are we watching a moment of hope, or are we watching the beginning of a tragedy? You can really look at this ending in two totally different ways. The hopeful view is that, hey, this is an empowering moment. Wing is finally finding his voice, standing up for himself and demanding to be seen. But then there's the cynical view, and let's be honest, maybe the more realistic one, where Chan Yui's hesitation says everything. His fear of letting his family down is so powerful, it's really hard to imagine him choosing Wing in that moment.
Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. Beyond just this one couple's tragic story, why does this film resonate so deeply? What's the bigger picture here?
Like a Marriage is so much more than a sad romance. It's a really sharp critique of that crushing weight of family pressure and societal expectations. It's a raw, unflinching look at the real psychological damage that living a closeted life can do. And at the end of the day, it's a reflection on what courage truly means. Is it being brave enough to maintain a lie for the sake of peace, or is it finding the courage to face the truth, no matter how much it costs?
And that's really the question the film leaves you chewing on. In a world that so often pushes us to conform, to fit in a box, is simply choosing to live an honest, authentic life the ultimate and maybe the most difficult act of courage there is? So I'm curious, what's your take? Was that ending hopeful or was it tragic? Let me know what you think in the comments. To get more complex topics broken down like this, make sure to stick around. Thanks for joining this explainer, and we'll see you on the next one.